So in the beginning of the film, we are shown a girl named Iris who was deeply upset. Just a short time ago, her son had died, due to which she started feeling that her life had stopped. Strange thoughts started to haunt her mind. One dark night, when everyone was sleeping, she puts a small knife in her pocket and leaves the house in her car. In the morning, she comes near some mountains where her son was buried. She delivers an emotional monologue to her son, saying she is no longer happy with her life. She walks to the edge of the mountain and is about to jump from there when a man comes. He understood that Iris wants to end her life. He tries to save her and change her mind, and starts talking to her. He tells her that his name is Richard. He says to her that he will not stop her, but he just wants to say a few things before she dies. He tells her the story of a boy who was very lively. He was interested in cars and everything that could bring excitement into the life of any young boy, but then one day when he was going with his friend, his car crashed. He survived, but his friend died, and this trauma kept him trapped for many months. When he recovered from the shock, he realized that his family loved him very much, and his family was waiting for his recovery. Then he realized how wrong he was for giving up on his life. He tells Iris that the purpose of this story is to show that no one truly wants to die. Just some weak moments bring us to this point. He says, "Now if you want, you can die. I am leaving." After saying this, he left. But his words had left an impact on Iris. She also gave up the intention of dying and turned back towards her car. There she saw that Richard had parked his car right next to hers, due to which she could not even open the door of her car. Richard then came to her, taking an umbrella from his car. He tells her that he will help her in opening the car door. Iris found one thing awkward. Why did he bring an umbrella even on such a bright, sunny day? He attacks Iris with this umbrella, and it is revealed that it was an electric umbrella which shocked Iris badly, causing her to faint right there. With the little consciousness she had, she could only feel that Richard was tying her hands and legs, after which he picked her up and threw her in his car. When Iris regains consciousness, she does not talk to Richard, but she tries to call her husband shrewdly from her smartwatch. Richard finds out about this and tells her that no matter how much she tries, there is no signal here, and she will not be able to call anyone for help. Since this idea did not work for her, another idea comes to her mind. She had kept a knife in her pocket the night before. She secretly takes it out and tries to cut the knot binding her hands with it. To mask any sound during this time, she continued talking to Richard. As soon as she freed her hands, she attacks Richard without wasting any time. Richard's car loses balance due to her attack, and the car crashes into a tree. Both of them were injured in this accident. She wanted to save herself from Richard immediately. She immediately tries to strangle Richard with the help of the seatbelt, but Richard saves himself. Iris attacks him for the third time, causing both of them to get out of the car in a jolt. Iris now pointed a knife at Richard. Richard then says, "Do you think I am a fool? That I am standing in front of you so comfortably? Actually, I have injected you, due to which your whole body will become paralyzed within 20 minutes. You will not be able to walk, run, or even speak. And in this time you can do whatever you want to do." Richard's words had now really scared her a lot. She runs as fast as she can towards the forest, but while running, she really started feeling that her feet had gone numb. Slowly, her legs also stopped moving, and she started crawling instead of walking. Richard too had come close, searching for her. To escape from him, she hid under the bark of a tree, from where ants started crawling on her. She screamed out of fear, and this is how Richard found out where she was. To save herself from Richard, she somehow drags herself into a stream and gets carried away. Richard calls out from a distance, "You are doing wrong. You will not be able to swim. You will drown and die." But Iris ignores his words. She was not able to swim in reality, but with the flow of water, she reached the other side of the waterfall. From here, the bank of the stream was nearby. She saw that only 1 minute was left before she lost all movement. Using all her strength, she reached the bank of the stream. She saw a farmhouse in front of her. She tried her best to reach that farmhouse, but before that she fell down. Now she was not able to walk, move, or speak. What was in her control was just moving her eyes. After lying here for a long time, an old man who was working at this farmhouse notices her. He asks her what happened, but Iris is not able to give him any response. The old man then asks her closed questions like, "Are you able to hear me? Are you in trouble? Do you need help?" Iris uses her eyes to answer these questions. She blinks once to say yes, and she blinks twice to say no. Understanding her signals, the old man agrees to help her and takes her to his house while laying her in a wheelbarrow. He brings her inside. They had just come home when suddenly the house door started knocking. Iris understood that it must be Richard outside. She tries to tell the old man by blinking her eyes repeatedly, "I have a threat from that man." Luckily, the old man also understood her signals and hid her behind the sofa. When the door opened, it was seen that Richard had indeed come. As he entered, he started trying to deceive the old man by pretending. He started crying in front of the old man and told him that his son had died, due to which his wife had gone into shock and her body was paralyzed. He claimed he was not able to find her and asked where she had gone. At first, the old man did not believe him and told him to call his wife. Richard lied that his phone had fallen somewhere on the way. Seeing his fake tears, the old man was about to believe him, but then Richard's phone rang from his pocket. The old man caught his lie. Now Richard shows his real face to the old man. He tells the old man, "Okay, if you have recognized me, then tell me the truth. Have you seen Iris or not?" The old man threatens to call the police to make him run away, but Richard attacks him. However, Richard did not know that this old man was much stronger than him. The old man fought him well and beat him so much that Richard's strength was reduced by half. The old man was about to call the police while having Richard pinned down, but then Richard got a knife in his hand which he stabbed into the old man's leg. As the old man fell down while groaning in pain, Richard took out the same knife from his leg and stabbed it brutally into his stomach, twisting it. The old man died at the spot while groaning in pain. Iris kept witnessing all this from behind the sofa. What had happened was very bad. This old man was killed because of her. Now that Richard was trapped, he had committed a murder. To hide all these things, he pours the filled can of kerosene oil in the house and runs away after setting it on fire. Iris was alive and did not want to burn alive. That is why she hardly moved one of her fingers. She slipped her finger into the slat of a window and started opening and closing it. Richard notices all this from outside. He sees that someone is alive inside. Whoever was there could be a danger to him. He goes and sees that it was Iris. Richard picks her up and puts her in a truck. This truck belonged to the old man. They had left their cars far away, so they were using the truck to leave. Iris was silent and could not speak, but she could hear. Richard receives a call from his daughter. She tells him, "Dad, I am missing you a lot. That is why Mom and I are going to come to you." Richard tells her, "No, my work is not over yet. You cannot come to me right now." But his daughter is now insisting a lot. They do not listen to him and tell him that they are going to come home. Richard gets very tense because of this. In this tension, he was about to have an accident, and the worst thing that happens to him is that the fuel in his car runs out. To refuel his car, he comes to the fuel station and makes Iris wear a cap so that everyone cannot see her expressions. Here, Iris puts all her strength into opening the seatbelt. Due to the paralysis of her body, even the little movement that her hands were able to make was a big deal. Here she sees a boy who was almost the same age as her son. Seeing him, she became even more emotional. The child also understands that maybe she is in some trouble. Before he could ask Iris anything, this child's mother comes and takes him. From there, the woman realizes that something is wrong with Iris. That is why she called the police and also reported the number of the car. Richard now drove the truck to the same place where he had parked his car. He wanted to take his car back to his house, but before he could do so, a police officer comes and stops the truck. The officer tells him that a complaint has been made about his vehicle. Richard confidently says to him, "No, you have some misunderstanding. Everything is normal here." He adds, "I have just come on a trip with my wife." The officer says, "Okay, can I talk to your wife?" Seeing Iris's face, it was clear that something was wrong with her. Richard tells the officer that she is just drunk, which is why she is making such facial expressions. During their conversation, somehow Iris manages to roll down the truck window. Seeing this, the officer goes to her, and she puts all the force of her body into mumbling, "Help me." And here the whole story changes. The police officer also finds the injection on the truck with which Richard was paralyzing Iris. In this way, the officer understands that Richard had kidnapped Iris. Before he could rescue her, Richard understood that the situation was about to change. So, to keep himself safe, he thought it better to kill this policeman just like the old man. He hit him on the head with a big iron object. Just one blow finished off this officer, and he died. After which, Richard picked up the officer, put him in the car, and burnt it to wipe out all traces just like before. Now Iris had become completely helpless. She had given up all hopes of help. Whatever had to be done, now she had to do it herself. The effect of paralysis was also reducing in her body. She had also recovered the strength to speak. That is why she starts talking to Richard. She was deliberately trying to make him emotional, because she had come to know that Richard also has a daughter. But how can a person who can kidnap and kill someone be emotional? When Richard did not fall for her emotional words, Iris picked up the injection. She tried to inject Richard's leg to save herself, but she could not inject it into his leg. The medicine did not go inside Richard, and he started laughing. He said to Iris, "You are so weak you cannot harm me." He continued, "Well, I have changed the plan. Earlier I was going to take you to my house and kill you, but my family is coming there. Now I have decided that I will take you to the stream and kill you." He says that earlier he wanted to torture her a lot and would have enjoyed doing it, but now his family has spoiled his whole plan. He takes her to the bank of the stream and drags her into a boat. Iris was sitting there with the half-strength of her body. She was still thinking about how to save herself. Then she sees a knife in the back of Richard's waistband. A new idea comes to her, and she pretends to cry in front of Richard. She tells him that there is a photo of her son in her pants pocket, and she wants to see him for the last time. She asks, "Before I die, will you take out that picture from my pocket?" Richard laughed, but he agreed to her request and came close. As soon as he bent down, Iris, without wasting any time, took out the knife from his waistband and stabbed his lower neck, which pierced through to his mouth. He started going mad with pain. He took out his gun to kill Iris, but Iris snatched his gun and shot him, causing him to fall into the water. Iris was satisfied. She had killed her enemy and a killer. Her life was saved now. Perhaps the trouble was not over yet, because she saw that the boat she was in had a hole from the bullet shot, and water was filling inside the boat fast. Due to this, Iris also started drowning inside it. She could not move or do anything because half of her body was still paralyzed, but the good thing was that due to the paralysis of her body, she floated up like a dead body. In some time, as her body became normal, she swam to the bank of the stream. She started laughing, unable to believe that she had saved herself from a psychopath killer. She was happy and about to leave when she saw that Richard had also made it to the other bank, having saved himself. She goes to see him. He was still alive but was injured and taking his last breaths. Iris could have called the police if she wanted, but she had to take her revenge. She leaves him there, dying in pain, and goes away, and the movie ends here.